Coming up, my next guest has been a successful Aboriginal entrepreneur for more than 3 decades. Hilda Broomfield-Letemplier has first-hand experience of the dramatic changes in the Aboriginal business economy. Welcome to this Raw Talk special. Hilda, welcome to this Raw Talk special.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Can you start by telling me your business story? When did your business start?
We started our business on June 18th, 1991. We lived in Sherbrooke, Quebec for 10 years, and my husband worked in a manufacturing shop that fabricated propane tanks. At the time, he was at the top of the ladder. He's been there for 10 years. I was getting lonely. I was away from home. So we decided to go back to Labrador, and that was my husband's dream. And he said, well, you can help me. And I'm like, well, I really don't know about doing those kinds of things.
So you had no business experience?
I had no business experience. I went to the college and did a 2-year secretarial science administration program. So when we moved back to Labrador, we started our business in front of our house with a little red welding truck, and we worked till 11 at night because we couldn't disturb the neighbors. And so it just grew from that, and my husband is my biggest supporter. He thinks I can do anything, so therefore I do. I've done everything, financial projections, all the things that you need to do to make your business survive when you can't afford to pay other people to do that.
You preside the Newfoundland and Labrador Organization for Women Entrepreneurs. So an Indigenous woman leading a non-Indigenous organization, is that unusual?
That was interesting because I like being first. So we were the first manufacturing company in Labrador. I was the first Indigenous woman on the board. I was the first president of the Newfoundland Labrador Organization of Women Entrepreneurs. We say NLO. We were the first company in Labrador to become We Connect certified, and we were the first company to become CAMSI certified in all of Newfoundland Labrador.
Your company today is labeled an Aboriginally owned company, but that, when you started back in 1991, that wasn't something that anyone really paid attention to. How has it changed being an Aboriginally owned company since you started your business?
Well, that's a great topic. When we started, my husband decided, let's just do 100% Inuit, Indigenous owned, woman controlled company, and there was no talk of what's going to happen with mining. So after, in 2002, when the mine started, that was a big deal to be 100%, or even any amount of an Indigenous-owned company. So that was a big deal for us, and we learned to get into mining. It was big. It was great because our own governments and the federal government and the resources got together and came up with the impacts and benefits agreements. So that was a huge benefit for our company, and we diversified when the mine started in Labrador to be able to provide products and services.
You talk about the impact and benefit agreement, so it wasn't there when you first started your business?
Absolutely not. There was not. It wasn't even heard of. So it's almost like we had foresight to know that something big was going to be coming down the road.
And what is this impact and benefits agreement? Is it that a certain percentage of the mine's procurement need to be Inuit?
Yes, Inuit or Innu, because we have business development committees who go out there, and all the companies who want to be involved with mining, they actually register. They get a registration number. They're very well known. Like, you have to promote your company. You have to do things differently than you did before. Like, we manufactured storage containment tanks in the beginning of our business, but when the mine started, we were actually able to talk to all of our suppliers, ask them if they were interested in being involved with selling products and services to the mine, which they did. So what happens is the impacts and benefits agreements gives those companies an opportunity to sell and to provide services which they wouldn't normally do if they didn't have an Indigenous partner. They didn't have those opportunities.
But still, even if there is this impact and benefits agreement, you have to prove yourself as a company. You have to deliver on time, good products. Tell me, how has that been?
That's interesting because at the end of the day, I'm the one that's always held responsible. If there's any problems, if there's any concerns, if there's any issues, I'm the one who answers. So I need to develop a really good relationship with these companies, and they need to understand how important it is. We're not just a token company. We're not just a paper company. We're actually out there. We're doing the work. We're involved with all the contracting. We find new suppliers all the time. Like I had to learn how to do cold calls. When I remember the first time the company wanted to buy a particular product, I called the office and explained to them who I was, why it was important to deal with Indigenous companies, why I was best choice. And they sort of shunned me and kind of laughed. And the guy said, why would we do that with you? We don't need you. We have a monopoly. Mm. So I could clearly see that was a dead end. So when I just hung up the phone and I gathered myself together, and then I called the president of the corporation and I talked to him for about 45 minutes. And that was my very first try at getting a new supplier. And we have had since mine started in 2002, we've had every order for that particular product.
So it's about building relationships.
Absolutely. And it helps you have a better self-esteem to know that you can do that. And when you do it once, you can do it over and over and over and over again, which is fantastic.
How did you come across the terminology of economic reconciliation?
More recently, in the last few years, with my board work with the National Aboriginal Economic Development Board. Before that, I was in Labrador with my own little business, all protected, just doing my thing. And once I got involved with the board and being a whole part of Canada's economic reconciliation with regards to Indigenous people, First Nations, Inuit, Métis, that really had an impact on me then.
Entrepreneurship is your big passion. In your view, what role does entrepreneurship play in economic reconciliation?
Oh, it's extremely important because small companies like mine come from the grassroots up. We actually are able to take our own people, train them, hire them, watch their growth and development, watch the pride and self-esteem that they have by being able to provide for their company, for their families.
Yeah, is it an empowerment issue?
Well, they are so empowered. It's so great to see how proud they are that they can say, this is the project that we worked on with our company, and my dad built those rails, or my dad goes to site, and we have our own home now. These are the kinds of things that we have that we couldn't have before.
Is there anything, as for small companies in your situation or just starting off, what do you think needs to happen to improve their access to capital? And we're talking specifically about the northern region.
There definitely needs to be a support system. Like when people are starting off, they need mentors. Like you need to realize you need a good lawyer, you need a good chartered accountant, you need good computer tech people, you need to have people that can support you, you need to have people in your business who can do the things that you're not good at doing. So, and sometimes it's hard, but if you have to give anything to your business, get those people in place that can protect you. Like one word in a contract can cost you 3/4 of the profit that you should have gotten. We've been there, we've been through that. But it's great to have anyone starting out nowadays, young people who want to start a business, they really need to have the supports there, whether it's banks or whatever kind of organization to back you up. But it would be good to have people who are more open and like financial institutions to be better understanding, because we didn't have that kind of thing. Like we started our company, it was the first manufacturing company in Labrador, and people didn't know why we wanted to do that, but why not do that? It's opportunity to bring your knowledge and your background, your technical expertise to the table, hire your people, local people, train your local people, and be a good corporate citizen, bring back to the community as well.
Hilda, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.